So we're leading off this week. Will end with us battling it out in Celebrity Family Feud in Atlanta if we can fly there on time. So
we're not going through Newark.
We hope that. Just read about Atlanta's airport now. So that's the way the week ends. The week begins with something we're going to be talking about in the middle of the week, which is the NFL schedule being released. And the way the NFL schedule releases its schedule, not to 100% take credit for it, along with the rest of NFL Network, and it's changed. It has changed. DJ Mikey D, who goes way back in the day with us for the NFL Network.
Yes.
That was the Royal I was referring to with us. That you remember when we first came up with the programming for the schedule release.
People were like,
"What are you doing?"
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it's content. Everything's content these days, to the point where now there is a schedule release. I guess its own schedule on the schedule release is a schedule of leaks. There's a schedule leaks release and then a schedule release where each partner of the National Football League gets their opportunity on their morning shows or other shows of their choices to announce a key portion of the schedule. And today, NBC, in also announcing Michael Jordan being part of the NBA on NBC schedule as the NBA is going back to NBC. Jordan is part of the broadcast, apparently, in a special correspondent role or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Special contributor.
Special contributor.
Yeah.
He was a very special contributor to the Chicago sports scene once upon a time.
I've heard that.
Very special.
And pretty much every single one of his big games was on NBC. But at any rate, in this particular situation,
contributing to me and Brockman having less money in our bank accounts.
Maybe so.
We've been contributing to him.
He was a special contributor to my malaise watching Knicks games for a very long time. Similar to Saturday. At any rate, the folks on NBC announced the kickoff. Now, we were saying who should be in Philadelphia for the kickoff for the last few weeks. And could it be Los Angeles? Could it be the Rams to repeat the divisional playoff game in the snow? The 100% closest battle Philadelphia endeavored or had to deal with on their road to dismantling everybody else. The Commanders in the NFC Championship game, the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Maybe we run it back with the Los Angeles Rams. Could it be the Commanders, a repeat of the NFC Championship game? Could it be the Lions? As you know, the Lions have a history of winning games on the road to kick off the season. 2 years ago, they were anointed as such. One of those teams by the NFL to watch for with an assignment in Kansas City. A lot of people thought they did not deserve. And you could think maybe the Bears could be that role. Or could they be anointed Bears at Philadelphia? Because they're certainly not going to have a divisional playoff rematch or a divisional rematch of any sort, right? Unless they want to put the Commanders there. And then they decided to hold the beer of everything by putting the largest piece of filet mignon on the plate they possibly could.
Wow. This takes a nice chunk out of the pie.
Let's go.
They are putting the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia to start the season, September 4th, on NBC. And first of all, I'll just say these things. Not that people really care about it.
Well, they do.
Somebody from the National Football League had to make a call to somebody in your place of business on Pico Boulevard here in Los Angeles to say, hey, Dallas and Philadelphia will not be on Fox.
Exactly. That's the
that's what we see in the business, a very sensitive phone call.
Yeah.
And when the schedule comes out on Wednesday, look for some nice Easter eggs, I imagine, on the Fox schedule or another present underneath the tree.
Yeah. That was definitely a game of the week.
Any other game that you think that might be on another network might wind up on Fox. in a special way. I don't know. I'm not saying I know these things. I'm just sensing these things. But at any rate, long story short, oh my God.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles will raise a banner.
Oh.
And I imagine we'll see Sly Stallone. We'll see the whole thing. We'll see the whole Philadelphia Philly Palooza. We'll see it all.
Everybody.
With the Dallas Cowboys
Kevin
in
Hart.
the house, coming back from an absolute disaster of an all-in season with a new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer's first shot as HC of the Dallas Cowboys in the National Football League as an HC will come in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the Dallas Cowboys will have an opportunity to show everybody on planet Earth, show everybody in the National Football League, show everybody in the NFC East that they are back and they can wreck the Philadelphia banner-raising buffet on that Thursday night with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Javonte Williams and the rest of that, and Jordan Blue, who they just, who they just drafted, right?
Third round, I think.
Okay. Here we go. Or the Philadelphia Eagles will just spank them, and we will have a festival on the Rich Eisen Show Friday, September 5th.
I think either way we're winners, despite the outcome. I'm just ruminating some overreactions just in my head, just thinking about it. Cowboys are back. Favorites in the NFC.
It will be before next NBA season. So the man who once upon a time sent balloons and flowers and a mariachi band famously here
He
to troll
get his
on
mind right
T.J.
now.
Jefferson,
That bigger thing.
not once but twice. 3 times, actually. He chimed in on the way the Lions spanked the Cowboys.
Sure did.
And
Some
every
hater
single
stuff
time
right
the
there.
Eagles took care of business against the Dallas Cowboys, we heard from our friend Carl Anthony Towns. And the next Eagles-Cowboys game will be the first one out of the gate. Saquon paid Pizaid. How will that look? Cannot wait. Cannot wait. What are the odds, sir?
That was going to happen? I'd say great.
No, really, I didn't think they
come
would
on.
put the Cowboys in Philadelphia to start the season.
Why not? It's the
because
most prime time
that's one-
matchup that's there. Whether you,
Rich, you ask what are the odds?
Okay.
that's why
I have odds for you if you're interested.
Not on the odds of how it wound up on the schedule.
No. The
but
odds for
whether
the
somebody
game.
winds
Actually,
up, whether somebody, for the game.
you can already bet on week 1.
Who cares? The teams aren't
Opening
even-
night,
the rosters are the
Cowboys,
same.
Eagles. Eagles, -6.5.
That's so stupid.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever
We
heard.
don't even know who's on the 53 man yet.
The only
I
thing
mean, we know who the 22 best are.
The only thing dumber I've heard of in the last 48 to 72 hours, and the fact that there's now a line on the Cowboys and the Eagles the Monday after Mother's Day for a game that is the Thursday after Labor Day. The only thing
4 or
dumber
5 months away.
that I've heard than that is seeing a Knick fan waving a broom in the face of a Celtic fan out in front of Madison Square Garden before Game 3 this weekend.
Yeah, that was
that
dumb.
was the dumbest thing I've ever seen this weekend until that very moment. I thought Knicks fans in front of Madison Square Garden with brooms,
What are we doing?
a little much.
speaking of Carl Anthony Towns, before Game 3,
Were they going to shoot 25% again?
saying that they were going to sweep the Boston Celtics, the defending champion Boston Celtics, was the dumbest thing I've seen all weekend, and thought maybe for some time. But that clubhouse is now no longer led. It's now being led by the fact that there's a 6.5
come
point
on.
line in favor of the defending Super Bowl champions for a game the Thursday after Labor Day, as set in Las Vegas the Monday after Mother's Day. Dumbest thing I've heard all week.
Total's at 46.5 if you're interested.
Oh,
in
my
that.
God.
If you're interested in that,
There's a
in
tackle.
that leg of
Good
it,
one.
yeah.
Truly don't care.
No.
46.5 on the total.
That's a good one.
Before we do move on to the association in a second.
Yeah.
What's just again, because as you know, I'm an NFL employee, and these things confuse me,
Of course.
or they're supposed to confuse me.
And we would never ask
Until-
your opinion on
I would
this.
never ask your. Yeah,
until
exactly.
some people say, just put it on the bottom line of NFL Network anyway. But listen,
That's true.
Chris.
Yes, Rich.
I'm asking you, what's the point of this? Because you figure the odds will, like getting on it now.
Yeah, you get
because you feel like it's going to be worse for you.
Right.
The week, like actually having far more pertinent information to be smart on a wager?
Here's the deal. You get a number now. Heaven forbid there's a off-season, preseason injury.
Yeah.
Or there's a holdout situation.
Yeah.
Or, any number of things could happen. There's a deluge rainstorm opening week. And so now you got the total under 46.5, and you're like, hey, there's some weather situation. This is going to be a 17-14 game.
Yes.
And you feel good about the side that you take. It's just early action.
What if the Dallas Cowboys, let's just say you take 46, right?
Sure.
What if the Dallas Cowboys, between now and then, go ahead and say, you know what? We're not done being splashy. We're not done being splashy. We're going to go ahead and trade for Brandon Ayuk.
Then you'd feel good about Dallas plus 6.5.
Right?
I don't know.
Not that Ayuk's available. I'm just going to keep on naming names.
A better thing would be like Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Bringing Nick Chubb.
Yeah, there you go. They bring in Nick Chubb. Yeah. So stupid.
Love all
rock.
Well, I'm excited. That was a pleasant surprise. It did surprise me because TJ, that's a game you normally reserve for your November, December pleasure. And I'm sure whatever game between the Eagles and the Cowboys in Dallas, that one will be slated for November or December. That one was a surprise and a pleasant one. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.